All right, hello and welcome to the news update on VOP TV. I'm Moses Humphrey. The Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have suspended its proposed strike scheduled to commence today. Announcing the outcome of the meeting, the State House correspondent, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, stated that the NLC and TUC have accepted to suspend the 30-day planned indefinite nationwide strike. The resolution followed over 5 hours of deliberations between the federal government and Labour at the Chief of Staff conference room of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Lalong stated that the memorandum will be filed with the relevant court of competent jurisdiction within 1 week. I beg your pardon, will be filed actually to the relevant court of competent jurisdiction within 1 week as consent judgment by the federal government. However, the NLC President Joe Ajaero noted that the unions would revisit the agreement if FG fails to fulfill its demands. On the other hand, the federal government may incur additional 315 billion naira in wage bill in the next 6 months for the newly introduced allowance for federal workers. According to the agreement, the federal government grants a wage award of 35,000 naira only to all federal government workers beginning from the month of September, pending when a new national minimum wage is expected to be signed into law. Well, no fewer than 18 persons, including a pregnant woman, have lost their lives following an explosion in an illegal oil refining site in the Ibas community in the Imwaha local government area of Rivers State. This incident took place late Sunday night when some people in the community were scooping petroleum products. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps gave the casualty figure as 18. The spokesperson of the NSCDC, Rivers State Command, Olufemi Ayodele, in a statement says the deceased included a fresh graduate and a lady whose wedding was scheduled for next month. Ayodele noted that 18 persons were roasted alive, while 25 persons at the site were rescued by operatives. He also mentioned preliminary investigation showed that the explosion was caused by a local refinery cooking pot constructed close to an oil reservoir that contained combustible materials. He stated that the burning temperature eventually became too high and the environment was gutted by fire. A total of 8 persons were on Monday confirmed dead after gunmen attacked Adu village in the Basa local government area of Plateau State. The National Publicity Secretary of the Irigwe Development Association, Davidson Malison, who confirmed the killings in a statement on Monday, noted that 5 other villagers were also injured during the attack. According to Malison, the gunmen arrived in the village at night and fired bullets on innocent victims while they were sleeping. And also we bring you this news now. We hear that the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, is threatening to down tools and withdraw their services nationwide to protest the deplorable condition of highways across the country. The president of NUPENG, Mr. Williams Akboreha, stated this in a statement to commiserate with the families of those that died in a tanker accident that claimed the lives of the 5 people and destroyed other valuable assets along the Ologbo axis of Warri-Benin Highway. Mr. Akboreha appealed to the federal government to immediately commence the rehabilitation of all the failed highways in the country to save the poor masses from avoidable experiences and deaths. Now we take you to the foreign scene where Chicago State University has released the documents, the academic records of President Bola Tinubu following requests by Atiku Abubakar, candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the last elections. Now, over the weekend, the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois ordered the Chicago State University to release the academic records of Tinubu. Chicago State University stated that it has discovered several certificates that match the replacement of certificate President Tinubu presented to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in 1992 after a thorough search of its records. The school's discovery of similar certificates appears to have significantly undermined Atiku's investigative efforts in Chicago. In his third request, Atiku sought copies of any Chicago State University diplomas other than Tinubu's that contained the same font, seal, signatures, and wordings as the one presented as Exhibit C to the first Liu Declaration, which purported to be a Chicago State University diploma issued to Tinubu. Now, regarding Atiku's request for a copy of Tinubu's certificate issued in 1979, Chicago State University reiterated that it does not retain copies of students' diplomas, including the one issued in 1979. Now, Nasarawa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has nullified the victory of Governor Abdullahi Sule of the All Progressives Congress (APC) as governor of Nasarawa State. The three-man panel, led by Justice Ezekiel Ajayi, while delivering the judgment via Zoom, declared Emmanuel Umbudagu of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) as the winner. Justice Ezekiel maintained that the petitioner was able to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt for alleged overvoting, disruption of votes, among other irregularities. Now, do recall that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in Lafia declared Abdullahi Sule the winner of the governorship election in Nasarawa State in March. Professor Ishaya Tanko, the INEC returning officer, stated that the APC candidate polled a total of more than 300,000 votes to defeat his closest opponent, David Ombugadu, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), who got more than 200,000 votes. And now in the foreign scene, 2 Syrian soldiers have been injured following an Israeli air attack on military posts in Syria's eastern Deir ez-Zor region. Syria's state news agency stated that the latest attack by Israel was carried out late Monday night. The United Kingdom-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights mentioned that 3 explosions were reported near the position of Iranian-backed armed groups in Deir ez-Zor, near the Syrian-Iraq border, in an attack carried out by unidentified warplanes. According to the observatory, the target was a house where weapons were reportedly stored in Deir ez-Zor city. Israel has for years carried out unacknowledged attacks in Syria against what it has described as Iran-linked targets amid Tehran's growing influence in the country since it began supporting President Bashar al-Assad in the civil war that started in 2011. Late last month, Israel's military stated that its tank had destroyed 2 Syrian structures in the Golan Heights. The tanks attacked a location on the Syrian side of the demarcation line between the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights to the west and Syrian-controlled territory to the east. Hundreds of thousands of people have died, and millions have been made homeless since protests against Assad's rule first erupted in 2011 and have since developed into a civil war that has drawn in foreign powers, including Russia, and left Syria carved into zones of control. And that's the news update on VOP TV. We'd like you to subscribe and engage us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV. And on other social media channels, we are at VOP TV Live. I'm Moses Humphrey. Good morning.